I wanted to start with this devotional in Exodus 18. If you guys have a Bible and you want to turn there, Exodus chapter 18. This is when Moses is leading the children of Israel, and he's just wearing himself out. He's the sole judge. He's the sole leader. Everybody's looking to him to make all the decisions. And his father-in-law comes up to him. His name's Jethro, and in Exodus 18:17, he says, Jethro says to Moses, "What you're doing isn't good." So, like, pause there, like, that doesn't sound right, because it seems like Moses is doing a really good thing, right? He's leading all the people, he's speaking on behalf of God, he's leading them into righteousness, he's giving them the law, he's making righteous judgments. But Jethro, in wisdom, led by God, he says, "What you're doing isn't good." Moses' father-in-law said to him, "You will certainly wear out both yourself and these people who are with you, because the task is too heavy for you. You can't do it alone." And basically he's saying, Moses, you're taking too much on. You're taking way too much on as the leader, as the one leader. And when you do that, when you take on more than you can handle, more than your capacity, you're not just going to wear yourself out, you're going to wear the people out. And we think, this altruistic vision of like, hey, I'm going to lead all these people and I'm going to stretch myself and I'm going to spread myself thin. I'm going to burn the candle at both ends and I will pour my life out for other people. And Jethro, he's like, yeah, but it's actually not good. And not only are you going to wear yourself out, but you're going to wear the people out because you are worn out. Everyone, Craig Rochelle has this saying that everyone wins when the leader gets better. I 100% agree with that. I think that the church and even if it's like an organization, everybody wins when the leader gets better. But I also thoroughly agree that the leader only gets better when they surround themselves with other leaders. Like, they can't do it. I've never seen it successful to where the one person just shoots to the top and they're the sole leader. The most successful model always have a leadership community. And then he says in verse 19, he says, "Now listen to me." Right, so what you're doing isn't good. You can't do it alone. You're going to wear yourself out. You're going to wear the people out. He says, "Now listen to me. I'm going to give you some advice, and God be with you. You be the one to present the people before God and bring their cases to him. Instruct them about the statutes and laws and teach them the way to live and what they must do. But you should select from all the people able men, God-fearing, trustworthy, and hating dishonest profit. Place them over the people as commanders of thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens." And so obviously there's this numerical value of like how many people you should probably have. This is probably some good wisdom here for us. They should judge the people at all times. Then they could bring you every major case, but judge every minor case themselves. In this way, you will lighten your load and they will bear it with you. They will bear it with you. I've been told in leadership circles that you bear the burden of the organization as the leader. But right here, he's saying, no. They will bear it with you. You're not supposed to bear it alone. If you do this, and God so directs you, you will be able to endure. And also, all these people will be able to go home satisfied. And so the leading of the people into the promised land, the longevity of Moses' ministry and his life was all contingent upon him relinquishing control, trusting qualified people to help him bear the load together with him. And so, in other words, Moses, there are things that only you can do for the people, right? So there is a lane that you need to stay in. Stay in that lane. Anything outside of that, delegate to qualified people. And I think the leader fails when they think that only I can do all of these things, and the list becomes like extremely big. It's like, even though you can do it, you probably shouldn't do it. Right? So be the best you could be. Figure out what your lane is. He's like, Moses, yeah, you need to like judge these major cases, but all these minor things, delegate. Quit being a micromanager. Stay in your lane. And so Jethro, he advises Moses to stay in his lane, to delegate authority and responsibility to qualified people. Like, that's the key. It's not just like, okay, we'll help share the load with a bunch of people who aren't qualified. There's the qualification of the leader. And I think in this story, every leader needs not only other leaders, a team in their corner, but they also need a Jethro to be able to tell them this, right? And I think a church becomes an unhealthy place when nobody can speak to the leader like a Jethro with correction. Like, bro, you're doing it wrong. You need some help. And when you isolate yourself and you are above correction, then it's just a recipe for disaster, not only in your life and the longevity of your own ministry, but also the health of the people that you're leading.